Hey everybody, it's Miss A and I'm here with some recap videos. This is what we did on Friday. So actually I'm going to do a couple of recap videos. Let me start with our recap video for Thursday's lesson. Now Thursday's lesson was patterns. And we have previously worked on patterns, but we worked on patterns with shapes and colors and figuring out what comes next based on visuals. But now we are working on the 4th grade standard, which is patterns, and that's 3.5, is being able to figure out the rule of a pattern and implement that pattern. Implement means to apply it to a situation. So here's an example of a pattern of numbers. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, and the task would be to figure out the rule and then obviously give the next two numbers that should be in the pattern. So what the children were supposed to do is they were supposed to figure out the difference or figure out how to get from this number to this number. You could use a number line to help you. A lot of the children use a hundreds chart, and I'll show you typically what that looks like. So to jump from 3 to 6, that is plus 3. It's plus because I'm going to a greater number from a smaller number, and then how many jumps it takes to get there. So 3, 4, 5, 6. It took 1, 2, 3 jumps, plus 3. And then you go from the next number, from 6 to 9. Again, 9 is greater than 6, so it is plus, and it is 3 jumps. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. And then you have to continue all the way through the pattern because patterns can be represented with different numbers. And then this one is also plus 3. So I know to get from 12 to my next digit, it has to be plus 3. And from my next digit to the next digit is plus 3. So 12 plus 3 is 15. 12 plus 3. 2 plus 3 is 5 and 1. And then 15 plus 3 is 18. So I have determined the rule, which is, and the rule for this one, and there are some tests where they will have to actually give you the rule. The rule is add 3. And implement means to apply it to the next numbers in the pattern. It may also be represented as something like this. So let me give you another one. All right, so here we have to determine the rule. Obviously, you see we're not looking for the next numbers in the pattern. We will, but we will see. So this is the rule. So I'm looking to get from 5 to 7 is plus 2. Now I'm going to give you kind of an idea of how the kids would do this on a hundreds chart. Now the children would actually have a hundreds chart. They wouldn't have to draw it out like this, but I want to give you an idea of what they we're seeing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. So basically they would have a 100 chart, and this would be labeled 1 through 100, and we have those in class. Now this is just for practice, they can't use it on the test, but they would take and they would put a marker on the first term in their pattern. So here's my first term. That would be where my marker would go. And then they would count the jumps that it takes to get to the next term. So it would be 1, 2, and it would be placed on the 7, and they would have 2 jumps, so it's plus 2. And now the next term is 6. They have to go back 1 term, so it's subtract 1. And now they need to continue the pattern all the way through until they get to the end to make sure that it follows that same. So here we have from 6 to 8, that's plus 2. So that would be here, and then they would 1 jump to get there, 1 jump to get there, and they would use their marker to help them move back and forth. Oop, plus 2, excuse me. 8 to 7, minus 1. 7 to 9 is plus 2. 9 to 8 is minus 1. So looking at my rule figures, I can see that my rule is add 2, then subtract 1. All right, so I can see that that is my rule. Now, the implementing part, they may have something similar to, and not may, they will have something similar to this, where they will have options, and they have to choose which option also follows that same rule, the rule that they determined. So let me see my options here. I could have All right, so here I have options, and I have to work through every one of my options to see which ones also follow the rule of add 2, then subtract 1. So I would work each of them out just as I did here. The kids had a lot of success doing this. I was very happy with the success here, but when it was translated to the implementation part is where we fell short, and I think it was just laziness. They wanted to quickly find it, or they just chose an answer option because it was A, B, C, D, even though they were supposed to choose more than one. So we have to work through all the answer options. That's plus 2. That's minus 1. I have to go all the way to the end. That's plus 3. Well, that doesn't follow add 2, then subtract 1. So A is not an answer option. And you have to work all the way through, because if I were to stop here, I'd be like, oh, that one follows the rule. That one's right. All the way through. Plus 2, minus 1, plus 2. B is an answer option. I need to check the others because in math we do have multi-response, which is what. So it's 7, 9, 8, 7. 7 to 9 is plus 2. 9 to 8 is minus 1. 8 to 7 is minus 1. That does not follow the rule. Let's look at the last one. 4, 6, 5, and 7. 4 to 6 plus 2. 6 to 5 minus 1. 5 to 7 plus 2. So the correct answer options for this second part of implementation would be option B and option D. So this is a recap on patterns with rules and implementation. Hope this video helps, and please use this when you are reviewing for your test, which will be on Thursday. Thanks for watching, everybody.